Sai Satcharitra Chapter 2. Om Shri Sadguru Sainathaya Namaha. Objective of writing the work. In the first chapter, I describe Sai Baba's miracle of checking and destroying the epidemic of cholera by grinding wheat and throwing the flour on the outskirts of the village. I also heard about some more miracles of Sai Baba to my great delight. And this delight inspired me to write this poetic work. I also thought that the description of these grand miracles would be interesting and instructive to Baba's devotees and would destroy their sins. So I began to write about the sacred life and teachings of Sai Baba. The life of the saint is neither logical nor dialectical. It shows us the true and great path. Incapacity and boldness in undertaking the work. Hemad Pan initially believed that he was not fit to undertake this work. He said, I don't know the life of my intimate friend, and nor do I even know my own mind. Then how can I write the life of saint or describe the nature of incarnations, which even the Vedas were not able to do? One must be a saint himself before he could know other saints. Then how can I describe their glory? To write about the life of saint is the most difficult of undertakings. One may as well measure the depth of the water of seven seas or enclose the skies with cloth. I knew that this was the most venturous of undertakings and that it might expose me to ridicule. I therefore invoked Sai Baba's grace. The most famous poet saint of Maharashtra, Sri Gnaneshwar Maharaj, has stated that the Lord loves those who write about the lives of saints. The saints also have a peculiar method of getting the service which the devotees long for, successfully accomplished. The saints inspire the work and the devotee becomes merely an indirect cause of instrument to achieve this end. For instance, in 1700 Shaka year, the poet Mahipati aspired to write about the lives of saints. Saints inspired him and got the work done. Similarly, in 1980s Shaka year, Das Guna's service was accepted. The latter wrote four works Bhakta Vijaya, Santa Vijaya, Bhakta Leelamrit, and Santa Kathamrit. In chapters 31, 32, and 33 of the Bhakta Leelamrit and in chapter 57 of the Santa Kathamrit, the sweet life and teachings of Sai Baba are very well dictated. These have separately been published in the Sai Leelas magazine. The readers are requested to read these chapters. Sai Baba's wonderful Leelas are also described in a small book named Sri Sainath Bhajana Mala by Mr. Savitri Bai Raghunath Tendulkar of Bandra. Das Gana Maharaj has also composed various sweet poems on Sai Baba. A devotee named Hamidas Bhavani Mehta has also published some stories about Baba in Gujarati. A few editions of the Sainath Prabha, a magazine produced by the Dakshina Bhiksha Sansthan of Shirdi, have also been published. Then one might ask the question, since so many works regarding Sai Baba exist, why should this Sai Charita be written and what its necessity? The answer is plain and simple. The life of Sai Baba is as wide and deep as an infinite ocean, and everyone can dive deep into it and take out precious gems of knowledge and devotion and distribute them to the aspiring public. The stories, parables, and teachers of Sai Baba are indeed wonderful. They will give peace and happiness to people who are afflicted with sorrows and heavily loaded with the misery of its worldly existence, and will also bestow knowledge and wisdom, both in the worldly and spiritual domains. If these teachers of Sai Baba, which are as interesting and instructive as Vedic lore, are listened to and meditated upon, the devotees will get what they long for: union with Brahman, mastery in the eightfold yoga, bliss of meditation, etc. So I thought that I should compile these stories and thus that would be my best service. These collections would be very delightful to those simple souls whose eyes were not blessed with Sai Baba's darshana. So I set about collecting Sai Baba's teachings and expressions. The outcome of this is boundless and natural self realization. It has Sai Baba who inspired me in this matter. In fact, I surrendered my ego at his feet, thought that my path was clear and that he would make me quite happily here and in the next world. I could not myself ask Sai Baba to give me permission for this work, so I requested Mr. Madhavrao Deshpande alias Shama, Baba's most intimate devotee, to speak to him for me. He pleaded for my cause and said to Sai Baba, "This Anna Sahib wishes to write your biography, so don't say that you are a poor begging fakir and that there is no need to write it. Instead, if you agree and help him, your feet will accomplish the work. Without your consent and blessings, nothing can be done successfully." When Sai Baba heard this request, he was moved and blessed me by giving me his hoodie and placing his boon bestowing hand on my head said, "Let him make a collection of my stories and experiences and keep notes and memos. I will help him. He is only an outward instrument. I shall myself write my autobiography and satisfy the wishes of my devotees. He should get rid of his ego and surrender it at my feet. He who acts like this in life, him I help the most, and about my life stories. I serve him in his house in all the possible ways. When his ego is completely annihilated and no trace of it remains, I myself shall enter into him and shall write my own story. Hearing my stories and teachings will create faith in devotees' hearts and they will easily get self realization and bliss. Let there be no insistence on establishing one's own view, no attempt to refute others' opinions, and no discussions of pros and cons of any subject. The word discussion reminded me of my promise to explain the story behind my receiving the title of Hemat Pan, and now I shall relate this story. I was very friendly with Kaka Sahib Dikshit and Nana Sahib Chandorkar. They pressed me to go to Shirdi and receive Baba's darshana, and I promised them to do so. But something happened meanwhile which prevented me for going to Shirdi. The son of a friend fell ill. My friend tried all possible means, physical and spiritual, but the fever would not be abated. At the end, he got his guru to sit by the side of his son's bed. But it too was of no avail. Hearing this, I thought to myself, what is the utility of Guru if he could not save my friend's son? If the Guru can't do anything for us, why should I go to Shirdi at all? Thinking in this way, I postponed my Shirdi trip. But inevitable must happen, and it happened in my case as follows. Mr. Nana Sahib Chandorkar was going on tour to Basen. From Thana, he came to Dadar and was waiting for a train bound from Basin. In the meanwhile, Bandra local train arrived. He sat in it and came to Bandra, sent for me and took me to ask for putting off my Shirdi trip. Nana's argument in favoring of my Shirdi trip was convincing and delightful, so I decided to start for Shirdi the same night. I packed my luggage and started to Shirdi. I planned to go to Dadar and from there to catch the train for Manmad. And so I booked myself a ticket to Dadar and sat in the train. As the train was about to start, a Muslim man came hastily to my compartment and seeing all my paraphernalia asked me where I was going. I told him my plan. He then suggested that I should go straight to Bori Bundar and not get down at Dadar. For Manmad Mail did not stop at Dadar at all. If this little miracle had not happened, I would not have reached Shirdi the next day, as desire and many doubts would have assailed me. But that was not to be. As fortune favored me, I reached Shirdi the next day before 10 a.m. Kaka Dikshit was waiting for me there. This was in 1910, and there was only one place, Satewada, for lodging pilgrim devotees. After alighting from the Tanga, a small horse drawn carriage, I was anxious to receive darshana when the great devotee Tatya Sahib Nulkar returned from the masjid. He said that Sai Baba was at the corner of Wada and that I should first receive Baba's preliminary darshana and then, after a bath, see him at leisure. Hearing this, I ran and prostrated before Baba, and my joy knew no bounds. I found more than what Nana Chandulkar told me about. All my senses were satisfied, and I forgot thirst and hunger. The moment I touched Sai Baba's feet, I began a new lease of life. I felt obliged to those who spurred me on, helped me to receive darshan, and I consider them my real relatives. I can never repay their debt. I can only remember them and prostrate before them. The peculiarity of receiving Sai Baba's darshana, as I discovered, is that by receiving his darshana, our thoughts are changed. The force of previous actions is abated, and gradually non-attachment or dispassion towards worldly objects grow. It is by the merit of actions in many past births that such darshana is attained, and if you see Sai Baba, the entire world becomes or assumes the form of Sai Baba. The heated discussion. The day I arrived in Shirdi, there was an argument between myself and Bala Sahib Bhate regarding the necessity of a guru. I contended, why should we lose our freedom and submit to others when we have to do our duty? Why is a guru necessary? One must try his best and save himself. What can the guru do for a man who does nothing but sleeps indolently? And my Mr. Bhate took up the other side and said, whatever is bound to happen must happen. Even great men have failed. Man proposes one way, but God disposes the other way. Brush aside your cleverness, pride or egoism won't help you. Discussion with all its pros and cons went on for an hour and so on. And as usual, we did not arrive at the decision. We had to stop the discussion ultimately as we were both exhausted. The net result of it was that I had lost my peace of mind and discovered that unless there is a strong body, consciousness, and egoism, there will be no argument. In other words, it is an egoism which breeds arguments. The significant and prophetic title. When we later went to Masjidi, Baba asked Kaka Sahib Dikshit what was going on in the Wada, what was the discussion about, and staring at me, Baba added, what did this Hemat Pant say? Hearing these words, I was rather surprised since the message was at the considerable distance from the Satewada where the discussion happened. How could Baba know about our discussion unless he was omniscient and the inner role of all of us? I began to wonder why Sai Baba would call me by the name Hemat Pant. This word is a shorthand version of the name Hemadripant. Hemadripant was a well-known ministry of kings Mahadev and Ramdev of Devgiri, of Yadav dynasty. He was very learned, good-natured, and the author of works such as Saturvarga Chintamani, which dealt with spiritual subjects, and Raj Prashasti. He invented and started new methods of accounting and was the originator of the Modi Marathi shorthand script. But I was quite opposite and ignorant of dull and mediocre intellect. So I could not understand why the name of a title was conferred upon me. But upon thinking seriously about it, I thought that the little was a dart to destroy my ego, so that I would always remain meek and humble. It was also a compliment paid to me for my skill in the argument. When we look at things in retrospect, we know that Baba's calling Mr. Dabolkar by name Hemat Pant was significant and prophetic. As future years shows, he looked after the management of Sai Sansthan very intelligently and maintained its accounts professionally. He was also the author of such good work, the Sai Satcharitra, which deals with important spiritual subjects such as Gnana Bhakti, dispassion, self-surrender, and self-realization. About the necessity of a guru, Hemant Pant had left no note or memo about what Baba said regarding this subject, but Kaka Sahib Dikshit has published its note regarding this matter. The day after Hemant Pant's first meeting with Sai Baba, Kaka Sahib went to Baba and asked whether he should leave Shirdi. Baba said yes. Then someone asked Baba, where should he go? Baba replied, high up. Then man asked, how is the way that leads there? Baba said, there are many ways leading there. There is no one way from here to Shirdi. The way that begins here is difficult. There are tigers and wolves in the jungles on the way. Kaka Sahib then asked, but Baba, what if we take a guide with us? Baba answered, then there is no difficulty. The guide will take you straight to your destination, avoiding wolves, tigers, and ditches on the way. If there is no guide, there is a danger of your being lost in the jungle or falling into ditches. Mr. Dabulkar was present on this occasion and he thought that it was the answer Baba gave to the question about whether a guru was necessary. Thus, he took that hint that no discussion of the question whether man is free or born is of any use in spiritual matters. On the contrary, real Paramatma is possible only as the result of teachings of Guru. This is illustrated by examples of great avatars like Rama and Krishna who had to submit themselves to their gurus, Vashishta and Sandipani, respectively, to retain self-realization. Therefore, the only virtues necessary for such progress are faith and patience. Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.
Please subscribe and support us.